Right now I got one goal, and that is, if the main Instagram ever goes live again or doesn't, I got one goal: to show the world that you can save so many people from themselves. You can help so many people from wherever you are, because ultimately there's nothing that you have to get more than there's someone that you have to become in order to do that thing. The past 5 years have been nothing but true self-mastery. I thought I had the self-mastery. I thought that I had the self-actualization until I went through these journeys and these experiences, and I traveled the world several times, 2 different places with 2 different languages, having to adapt to 2 different cultures, and meeting myself and being alone in the world. And even before then, just being in Fort Greene Park in the snow and really meeting so many people and cultivating a following of so many people worldwide, whether or not these individuals are just fucking bozos who are just attracted to the allure of Sheikhy Chic and how he looks and how he speaks, or if they were the genuine and sincere individuals who were seeking the answers to apply to their life to actually become better. This whole past 5 years has been a wonderful journey, and granted this opportunity, you know, my one goal right now that I can set out to do and will set out to do, have set out to do, is to prove that we can go from the park and be in the park and go to the penthouse and still be in the park. And ultimately, it's not about the acquisition of the penthouse or the acquisition of the car. It's about serving other people. Authentic self-acceptance is the one thing all humans actually crave and need, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. And second is authentic, genuine human connection. So many people trade off authentic self-acceptance for disingenuous human connections. And this is the discrepancy and the incongruency in everybody's quality of life, whether they have angst or anxiety, depression, etc. It's because they fail to recognize that they're out of alignment with so many things. Money is always going to be important, and we're always going to discuss money because we're going to talk about sharing value, creating value, exchanging value, right? But that's not the sole focus. The sole focus is creating somebody, as I said in Alexandria, Egypt, creating a superior servant, right? Because most of you suck at serving yourselves. Just be fucking honest. You say you're going to do something for yourself, by yourself at a certain time. You don't do that. Let's say just waking up. Let's say going to the gym. Let's say not intoxicating yourself or participating in self-debilitating habits as you know you have been doing and you know you've been saying you're not going to be doing, right? So let's not even play that game. Let's just keep it honest, right? This is a person reaching out to you, beaconing to you, and offering you a gateway into actually building yourself and establishing a relationship with someone who's going to assist you on your journey. I've made this person because I needed this person. I made the person that I always needed, and now I'm living a life of joy. I'm living a life of fulfillment. I'm living a life of the ability to serve based on my deep interests, deep concerns, and the trials and tribulations that I've overcome and the problems that I've dealt with in life to help other people get out of their own way and liberate themselves from the afflictions of their self-imposed restrictions, their self-imposed limitations. WYWY, your world is yours. So, let the page go live. I don't even need to publicize the new page. I like the people who are a part of it right now. But ultimately, it was never the quality of the facility. It's never the quality of the thing. There's nothing to get. There's only something to become, someone to become. And once you become that someone, you become a high-quality facilitator. You become a superior servant. You go out into the world and you make fucking friends, right? It's not simply about money. It's about relationships. And it's not about relational versus transactional. It's both. Relationships, transactions, all on the table. People over money always. But understand that we're all here to cooperate and exchange and participate in making life better on behalf of others. And if you can do that for an individual, that's the only way you're going to actually get money. I keep bringing it back to that because there's so many people that I've grown up around who don't understand the concept of money, which is basically you get paid to help somebody get something done. And what you need to recognize is that a lot of you are undone. You're meant to work with me so we can get you done. You're incomplete. You're undone. You're half-baked. You're mediocre. It's because you conform. Where conformity begins, mediocrity ensues. And YWI is a movement. Your World is Yours is a movement, an anti-mediocrity movement. By all means, let everyone else be popular for whatever they're popular for. Most people are popular because they're widely accepted by people who have no standards. They're widely accepted by people who compromise on their standards. They're widely accepted by people who are willing to compromise on accountability. I'd rather not be popular amongst those people because those people are low-value people, and those are the most abundant people on the planet. So you have to understand that popularity isn't always a measure of value. It depends on who you're popular with and what you're popular for. Be popular for excellence. Be popular for enhancing people's lives. Be popular for being an asset. Be popular for greatness. Be popular for being wonderful. You know, these adjectives that matter in life. Not depressed, despondent, degenerate, debaucherous. It's real simple shit, you know, and the main focus moving forward is attracting the people that are attracted to what we're attracted to, because humans congregate based on the preservation of values, of shared similar values. Some people, a lot of people, wake up and have the shared similar value of debauchery and bullshit, party and bullshit, waste time, avoid themselves, don't understand themselves, neglect themselves. And other people have, fewer people, the rarer people, high quality people, have and share the values of evolution, self-improvement, self-introspection, self-reflection, self-construction, actually healing, self-actualization, anti-mediocrity, upholding and living with integrity to superior standards. It's as simple as that. So when you comprehend this, you'll choose what type of people you'll choose to align with, because all humans congregate over the preservation of shared values. Now, what is it that you actually value? Do you ever find yourself amongst people and in these small pockets of time, you're like, yo, why the fuck am I with this bozo? Why the fuck am I with these lames? What the fuck am I doing? What I really want is this. So don't denounce what's the call in your heart, you know? Get popular for the right things. Be popular amongst the right people for the right things. And become one of the most valuable and valued members of society. Now, recognize in general society, most people ain't on shit. They're hiding from themselves. They're settling for creature comforts. They're not living beyond much. They're not living beyond themselves. They're individual, personal creature comforts and selves. They get together to accommodate each other based on these menial needs. Now, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, there's the basic self-actualization hierarchy, physiological needs, belongingness, blah, 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 self-actualization. And then you get into what we know as the meta needs, which are way beyond food and creature and fucking low-level shit. It's a need for creation, contribution. Look at the chart, meta needs, bro. And when you become a meta-human, that's what happens. That's what has to happen. So, ultimately, when you work with me, what you're gonna understand is that you need to work on yourself. You know, you have to pick a side in this life. So many of you are indecisive, and when you play indecisive, you end up being complicit in the upholding of the inferior, of the lesser quality. You are a participant. Passive, still a participant, an active problem, part of the problem. So you have to pick a side. Be decisive. Choose one way, or recognize that you're choosing the other way. And that most actual, most real, most authentic, most sincere, like I said at the beginning, understand that humans, every individual, whether they know it or not, seek and need two things to actually be mentally healthy. And these two things that all humans actually need, whether they're conscious of it or not. This is what I arrived at in my meditation. The two things that humans actually need, above all things: authentic self-acceptance and genuine human connection. In a world of mass lack of self-acceptance and mass disingenuous human connections, there are very few people who authentically accept themselves, wholeheartedly, without question, without qualm, without intercession of a second or third suggestion. And that only comes by having integrity to your higher standard and your highest values, without compromise, without selling out. And that is the road lesser traveled, that is the path less walked. Because you then move alone. You're not lonely, you just are more alone than not. And most people rather sell out and not have authentic self-acceptance to be accepted by other people who don't have authentic self-acceptance and create disingenuous human connections than to, in the most fundamental sense, maintain and preserve their own authentic self-acceptance and have a genuine human connection with themselves. This ain't for everybody. The path has never been for everybody, and if everybody walked it, we would look up and we'd see more remarkable than unremarkable. You feel what I'm saying? So, probably why your world is yours. Anti-mediocrity society. That's what it is. Sober, fit, enlightened, and rich. I don't give a fuck if you want to work out with me. You won't be able to be around me if you're not sober. If you're not willing to give up the drink, the weed, the drug, all that shit, get the fuck out of here, bro. Because in all actuality, it's more difficult to be sober and black, bro, and intelligent than it is to just do a fucking 1,000 push-ups or run 26 miles. It's way easier to run 26 miles and do 1,000 push-ups than it is to be fucking sober and then add the qualitative variable of quote-unquote blackness in this world, and then quote-unquote hetero, and then quote-unquote extremely intelligent. The reason most people who are extremely intelligent who get high is because they're so intelligent, but they can't cope with their own intelligence and their own awareness, so they need to numb their intelligence and dumb themselves down. You fucking idiot. You sabotage yourself and degrade yourself a long time, and then what? A couple years later, you realize you done wasted yourself, harmed yourself, debilitated yourself because you was a bitch. Real life. Real life. You just a bitch. Just a bitch. Don't get into semantic hair splitting with me, bruh. You's a bitch. We know what that is. A bitch is a bitch is a bitch. You's a bitch. You chose to get high and hide than to actually rise and meet the standard of your own personal intelligence and live the life that you were being guided to live. No matter how extraneous the fucking circumstances were or whatever the fuck. It's like I said, it's way easier for motherfuckers to run around and be monkeys than it is to be a fucking sober, intelligent, sapient creature, sapient being, and rise to the pinnacle of their genetic inheritance and develop, educate, educare, to lead out, to educate, to unfold, to evolve into what you were actually designed to be. It's the path less chosen, because at the end of the day, most people will sell out and live without authentic self-acceptance. It's inauthentic self-acceptance because they have to force themselves to continuously it's okay, I love myself. No, you don't. If you did, you wouldn't have to say anything. It's all nonverbal. It's already there. Duh. So the fact that you have to consistently say, oh, I love myself, I accept myself. No, you don't. Because what's the presupposition to the second suggestion, to the insistence that you keep using your conscious mind to do? That you don't fuck with yourself. It's okay. It's once you start with it's not okay, then you can actually make things right. You can actually correct things. You can actually solve the issue. But if you consistently tell yourself that which isn't okay, or that you're lying to yourself, the self-deception has to stop. Self-mastery begins where self-deception ends. Mediocrity ensues where conformity begins. So fuck everybody and everything around you who isn't on that highest level and standard. Because most people need to see it to believe it. When the realest people believe it and then realize that they'll see it. Feel what I'm saying? So fuck every single last individual around you who does not comprehend the trajectory that you're moving in. Because ultimately, the name of the game is upward mobility. Welcome to America. Welcome to the free world, where everything is based on merit. Fuck all the variables of intersectionality, gender, race, all this fucking weird shit. Socioeconomic. You can make it to the top. And that's what I'm going to show you again. From the beginning, new game, if need be, from the park to the penthouse. And it's not about to the penthouse, because we still gonna be in the park. It was never about the park. It was never about getting anything. It was always about becoming someone. And then taking that individual and delivering them to the world. And making as many fucking friends, authentic, genuine human connections as possible without having to sacrifice authentic self-acceptance. And helping as many people be as great as possible through your will, through your imagination, and through your creativity, and through your example. Sober, fit, enlightened, and rich. Fuck all of them. Watch this. I've done it plenty of times, and I've been amidst so many people that don't believe because they don't see your vision. Your vision is yours, delivered from the top. So like I said, most people need to see it to believe it. The realest ones know that you need to believe it, and then you'll actually manifest and visibly see it. So consider the vibrations rate. Niggas already beat the game 1,000,000 times, but if we got to start over and save a whole bunch of new level of people, and then to demonstrate at the same time that it was never about getting anything or losing anything, it was always about being something, and that being of something is the most valuable thing, and that is the quintessence, that is the essential nature of everything that is valuable. The being, the offering, the value that you are, the value that you contribute, the value that you offer. And ultimately, that's that. I'm way beyond motherfuckers. You motherfuckers still can't wake up in the morning. You motherfuckers still can't even comprehend basic shit. So let's start small, man. Are you really content to be a slave to vices? Are you really content to be a slave to excuse? Are you really content to be a slave to other people's perceptions? Are you really content to be a slave to doubt and you're just gonna die? We all losing our lives very slowly. We all dying with our eyes open. So you better live the life that you truly want, and design the life that you truly want, and earn the life that you truly want, and establish the genuine human connections with those who are in preservation of the same values as you, and get out of alignment with people who don't share the same values and who value valueless things. It's the best thing you could do for yourself. 2 things: authentic self-acceptance. Number 2, genuine human connection. Humans congregate based on what? The preservation of shared values. Excellence, anti-mediocrity, mastery, evolution. If evolution is all you need and all you seek, it'll be all that you get and all that you receive. Consider the vibrations raised. Evolution, only solution. Self-mastery, only success. Doesn't matter where we are. The only thing that matters is who we are. Consider the vibrations raised.